We do a segment called 3 on 3 with a lot of the ex-NFL players where we go through lists. Here's my list of the top 3 pass rushers. Here's my list of the top 3 specialists. We've got Torrey Smith, NFL legend and 2-time Super Bowl champion, who I contend is one of the most underrated wide receivers of his generation. You were always a player that was making the big play and could take the top off when necessary. So we thought it'd be fun to do a segment, the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL right now. We've each made our own lists, and we've been in the Ricky Lake isolation chambers where we have not shared each other's lists. I think I'm going to start off. Let's get into this right now. I'll start off with my number 3 most underrated wide receiver in the league. He's a guy who's just played 2 seasons. I'm going with T. Higgins from the Cincinnati Bengals. Lost in the Jamar Chase madness, and it was madness. He was that good. Was what T. Higgins was doing on the other side last year. This guy is a tower. He is a huge physical specimen, but he also has wheels, and he was as reliable as it comes to Joe Burrow when he needed him most. You go through those big games. Yes, Jamar Chase was the number 1 by the end of the season, but T. Higgins was making play after play after play, and the leap he made from year 1 to year 2 is you can't even make a quantity on it. It was that good. This thing is not Burrow and Chase. It's Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. I believe T. Higgins is vastly underrated when we talk about the best young wide receivers. And in the games that mattered most, Week 12 to the Super Bowl, look who was 3rd in the league in receiving yards per game. Yeah, Cooper Kupp had an all-world season. Justin Jefferson took it off. T. Higgins, not Jamar Chase. So just for the sheer celebrity status of Chase and just how amazing his season was, maybe the greatest rookie season we've ever seen, let's not forget about a great sophomore season, and T. Higgins is going to be even better in his 3rd year. I'm going T. Higgins, my 3rd most underrated wide receiver in the league. Who do you got as yours?
I love that pick as well. Shout out to T. Higgins, but I'm going to go with my man Mike Williams. Mike Williams has always been a big play threat, and I feel like if he was on any other team, he would be a number 1 receiver. I love Mike Williams. He's a guy that people love to knock him because he's not necessarily going to be a guy that's running all of these different routes across the field. However, he can make every play. If you need a big-time play, he's one of the best in the league when it comes to 50-50 catches. And as you can see right there, he gets the ball in his hands, he can go. And I think he plays with the most underrated superstar in the league, Keenan Allen. And I think that's used to knock him, but I really think that should be something to help elevate his game because it doesn't matter who's on him, he's going to always be open. And last year, I remember there was a stretch in 2 games between Cleveland and the Chiefs where he had nearly 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. If that's not underrated and big-time potential showing who he is, I don't know what can be.
Got his money this year. The Chargers.
20 plus. Pay the man.
They certainly rate him well as well. Okay. Number 2, it's a name that we hear every year on this list, but I still feel like he deserves a little more love. Tyler Lockett. He had another great year with Seattle, and he continues to do it. Tyler Lockett's going to have a lot of eyes on him this year and say, okay, well, no Russell Wilson. How are you going to perform with the Drew Lock, Geno Smith, Jacob Eason, maybe Baker Mayfield? We don't know who's throwing him the passes, but it doesn't matter. Tyler Lockett every year puts in the work, and every game is there making big plays. And yet, if you put a list together of name the top 50 wide receivers in the league, I would challenge you to find many people who put Lockett on it. The numbers add up, the big-time moments add up, and the after-the-catch matters and adds up. Most receiving yards on deep passes the last 4 seasons, he's got more than Tyreek Hill. Tyler Lockett is fantastic. I'm so curious to see this next stage of his career. Obviously, DK Metcalf gets all the shine, but I think Tyler Lockett is as good a deep threat wide receiver in the league, and he can do a whole lot more than that. Who you got number 2?
Tyler Lockett could have very easily been number 1. I love that pick. But I'm going to go number 2 with Scary Terry out of the DMV area. Terry McLaurin is a big-time playmaker. I've seen it up close and personal following Washington and being in the area. He's had 2,000-yard seasons back-to-back. And with Carson Wentz, my guy, coming in this year,
your guy,
that will be his 8th quarterback.
You're a Carson Wentz guy.
Absolutely.
Eagles. Carson Wentz guy.
Carson Wentz is.
We got another segment on that.
We got to do a segment on it. I've never heard a player say that. He's my guy.
My guy, Carson Wentz, is going to be throwing dimes to Terry McLaurin all year long. He's another guy that 50-50 catches, unbelievable, big-time playmaker. Now you add, and this is all without a number 2, a solid one on the other side. Now you have a healthy Curtis Samuel coming in. You go to the draft, get my guy to Penn State, Dotson, who has extreme speed, big-time threats all around, that's only going to help single him up. So I'm looking forward to watching this Washington offense under Scott Turner this season with weapons and healthy weapons that are around.
Yeah, I think McLaurin he wears the C on the jersey, too, which I think says so much from the wide receiver position. All right, here we go. Big announcement. Our top most underrated wide receivers. Mine might be the most underrated wide receiver in NFL history. How's that for some bold statements?
I love it.
Number 1 is Mike Evans. I'm going to talk Mike Evans right now. This guy is in rarefied air historically, what he's done over the first 8 years of his career. 1,000-yard season every single season. Not for 3 years, not for 4 years, not for 5 years, 8 years. Only guy in NFL history to do it. And it's beyond like, hey, here's the number. How about the leader that he is in the locker room? The last 2 years, do you know who the biggest vocal advocate has been to get Chris Godwin paid? This guy. He is Mr. Tampa. He is all-world there. He predates Brady, and he'll be there long after Brady. Mike Evans, to me, is the consummate professional. He is so good for that team. He has been so good over the course of his career, and I think he's so good in that community. I think he really wears that Buccaneers logo with such pride. Look at this. I mean, it's not even like it's a flip. This is a 2-year gap now on Randy Moss, A.J. Green, of course, and Michael Thomas, but most consecutive seasons with 1,000 yards to start a career. Chris Carter, an NFL Pro Football Hall of Famer, was on the show and said Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer if he never plays another down of football again.
Wow.
I said, wow. And then you look at the numbers and you're like, he might be right. Mike Evans has the ring. He's got 8 years straight of 1,000 yards, and he is the consummate professional. I think he's the most underrated wide receiver in our game, but I didn't play the position. You did. Who do you have as number 1 most underrated wide receiver?
You got
number 1 for me, I love Mike Evans, by the way, and you're right. He may be the most underrated receiver all time. But I'm going to take it back to the DMV again with my little brother, DJ Moore, fellow Terp right there. I remember when he was drafted. I knew who he was coming out of Maryland. He's only continued to get better. His route tree has grown, and he's just a big-time playmaker. I tell everyone, DJ was able to get his money that he earned this year, but if DJ Moore played in San Francisco or a big-market team, you will be talking about him like you do Deebo Samuel and those type of guys. He is a big-play guy. He's like a running back when he gets the ball in his hands. I've never seen a player with that type of balance. And watching him, another guy who's had 3,000-yard seasons, and he's had 5 quarterbacks throwing him the ball as well. DJ's been making plays since his rookie year. I'm extremely proud of him, and I definitely wasn't biased in my pick. He's really underrated when it comes to this. People don't talk about him enough, and it bothers me. I take it personal.
Between him, Stephon Diggs, Torrey Smith, what's up with you Terps wide receivers where you're all people sleep on you, and then you get to the NFL, and you're like, hey, here I am.
Yeah, you know, if you're a receiver and you want to get to the league, go to Maryland. That's how it works.
It is. It's good. These are some incredible numbers here, and DJ Moore, you might not expect it, on this list with these big names and fellow Terps right there. Those are our lists. Go to the table right now because you guys follow the game a whole bunch too, and you might have a completely different opinion. Kay, Tom.
DJ, I talk about DJ Moore. I could pull up footage and receipts of me thinking DJ Moore is so good, and I hope so much. I don't think it's about the market. I think it's about the instability at quarterback. And if they get that, and they get that right, I would just hate to see that talent be wasted, even though he's clearly putting up crazy numbers.
Tyler Lockett is a fantastic call. There is a bias against the receivers who don't pass the look test. He's 5'8", like a $180. Him and I could share a wardrobe. He's in much, much better shape than me, but similar type of size, yet he can run past everybody, puts up huge numbers in an offense where it's never going to be a high-volume type of a passing game.
Love it. Did we forget anybody? Folks at home, please tweet the show. Let us know.
Who almost made your list, Riggs?
You know, I like Mooney out in Chicago.
Yeah,
but he hasn't done it yet, but I think he's going to have a huge, huge career. I was thinking about putting him on there because you never hear his name mentioned, and I think he's got the goods. Darnell Mooney. That's
Christian Kirk did not make your list, guys.
Hey, Christian Kirk's a great player. I think when you make 4 years, $72 million, someone...
You were rated.
You were rated. Someone rated you. But it's a good point. His name is not often mentioned in those conversations.